Yes, as I say, I'm Richard, I'm CTO at LINX. I'm going to do the technology update. Often we have a bit of a mixture of technology representatives, but we've got a few events going on simultaneously at the moment, so technology events. So I'm afraid you're stuck with just me today. So, but I'm going to go through four main areas. I've got a detailed update on the London 2 network refresh. A brief update on root servers. I'll cover the usual operational update that Anne normally runs through, and then a little bit on our projects and maintenances that you may expect to see over the next few months. So at the last LINX meeting, and I think also I published a little bit online via one of our social channels, we've been doing a technology refresh or review of London 2. The Edge core network that we put in, I think we evaluated back in 2016-17, and it went live 17-18, and it's been running as is very, very stable for, what's that now, seven and a half years. So we're very, very pleased with that, but it's definitely come to an end of its life, and we need to refresh that. So we did an evaluation over the last 6 to 8 months to look at what technology we could refresh with that. And I'm pleased to say that we've chosen a Nokia platform. So thank you to the Nokia team for working with us. We evaluated originally 5 different vendors, shortlisted it down to 2, and selected Nokia. It's a specific platform we're going to look at is the 7220 IXR series in 3 models. There's the D2, D3, and the D5. The product itself, if you're not familiar with it, it's a merchant silicon based system. So I'll get into a bit more detail, but it's a Broadcom based switch, and the reason for the different variants there, D2, D3, D5, is really just about the speed and the capability. So I'll go into a little bit more detail on that. It runs on the Nokia SR Linux network operating system. So this is a slightly different one to the SR OS that we run elsewhere in the networks. And under the hood, as I say, this is merchant silicon based switches. They're Broadcom-based switches, and predominantly they run the Trident 3 and Trident 4 chipsets that sit within those devices. We will be running EVPN on the network as we do with the Edge core, so it will be a replacement like for like, and it's a VXLAN based EVPN setup that we're running through. And on a product point of view, it supports and it will support all of the normal products, including the VPP one that Mike went through and the SLA one that Mike went through today. So the peering services from 2 gig through to 400, private VLAN, closed user groups, maps, and soon as Mike launches the new products as well. So pleased to go through with that. It's going to be fully supported. I'm going to go into a bit more detail now about the migration, what to expect. I do want to cover a little bit about why we selected Nokia and some of the separation resiliency that we want to keep maintained between London 1 and London 2 as well. So why did we select Nokia for London 2? We've gone from a disaggregated platform, Edge core IP infusion to a single vendor. It's probably fairly close to a disaggregated platform. It is different. It's as I say, it's a Broadcom-based chipset, which London 2 is today, and it's running a more open operating system. But what we found was actually it was the right fit for us. The product itself, the IXR 7220, is built for data center fabrics. It's built for interconnectivity. It's very modular. It can run, say, the D5 is 400 n times 400 gig edge capacity. It scales fantastically for LINX, so small data centers all the way through to the large data centers in say Telehouse and the Slough Equinix facilities where we need that scale as well. We were a little bit limited about the different vendors that we looked at on the products that we offer. So some of the connection partner services that we offer and that, but so fairly limited by that. And we also had quite a tight cost window that we wanted to match in. So we did want to keep London 2 competitive in the market. It is the resilient partner to London 1, and we wanted to keep the price competitive, which meant that we were really looking towards a sort of merchant silicon-based switch solution, which again limited some of our choice and flexibility on that. We are pleased with the 7220 from a mean time between failure, so the uptime between devices failing. I mean, we've been fantastically impressed with the edge core actually on a mean time between failures. It's been huge performance over the years, and we think we'll get the same type of performance from the 7220 as well. We feel it does maintain healthy separation between London 1 and London 2 from a failure point of view, and I'll go into a bit more detail on that on the next slide. And from a manageability point of view, we've already deployed this in other smaller IXs. So Nova is already running the 7220 and Riyadh in Saudi as well. So we've deployed this. It fits with our tooling chain. It fits with our manageability, all of the automation, the self-service. That I think we got a presentation after lunch from Alam on the self-service. So all of that is all proved and capable on this type of this platform, and it's modular. The fact that we can take the D2, D3, D5s, we can upgrade, we can move them, shift the lower capacity devices off to smaller sites as the London 2 grows, and we can build. It's going to be a leaf and spine architecture. And it enables us to put the different mix of speeds on the leaf so that we can connect different people and grow in a modular, which helps with cost as well. So separation, why is that important? We do want to see London 1, London 2 seen as resilient and separate networks. We put a lot of testing from our engineering team, not just on the actual switch that runs the IX, but the optics, the fibers, the routes the fibers take, the power distribution within the data centers, all the way through to the route servers that we run on the network. So we put a lot of effort to make sure that we keep those two networks resilient. And I'll go through just a few key points on that. So from a routing point of view, London 1 is still running, so London 1 network is a core. At the core, it's Juniper. It's a MX10K network. We've recently upgraded to the LC9600 cards that plug into the MX10K and gives us the ability to connect at 100 and 400 gig interconnection. So we have a high-speed core network. At the edge, we run a mixture on London 1 of Nokia SR2s, SR7s, which run the Nokia SR proprietary SR OS, and we also have edge devices that are Juniper, which are the MX10K running Junos. So we have the SR OS operating system and Junos operating system on London 1, whereas obviously on London 2 it's going to be keeping that separate operating system with the SR LINX operating system on the 7220. London 1 is an MPLS-based eVPN overlay network. London 2 will be an IP VXLAN-based overlay network for the eVPN technology. So we've kept a little bit of separation as well on how that comes together. And then, as I say, from a silicon point of view, different ASICs on or different silicon in the boxes. Broadcom Trident will be on London 2. Broadcom is already on London 2 at the moment within the edge core, but it'll be the Trident 3 and Trident 4s. Juniper, just to complete the picture, Juniper runs Trio on the MX10K, and the Nokia SR boxes run the FP4 and FP5. These are proprietary silicon-based services. So we kept that separation. Root servers, I've got a little bit of an update on the root servers as well. We actually have everywhere redundant on root servers except for London 1, which I'm hoping, Mo's not here today to share the news, but I'm hoping as we go through June and as I get to the maintenances, you'll see we will be very soon running Bird and OpenBGPD on the different networks. But we do keep separation. So right now, London 2 has Bird and OpenBGPD root servers running. London 1 will be changed very, very soon. So we'll keep that separation. Oh, I think I was one slide behind. Fibre, we take in different suppliers. I think we saw a presentation yesterday from Polson where they went through in detail about how they route and choose their routing of their fibre network. It's very similar for LINX. We map across the London Metro. We use different fibre providers. We make sure we don't have single points of failure between them, and we make sure that we have separation between London 1 and London 2 on the fibre routing between all of our POPs that we run in London. And then from a facility point of view, we work very closely with our data center partners over the years. Many of you would have seen presentations from them. The data center partners provide us with resilient cabs with A and B feeds. We make sure that we don't have single points of failure within the data center facilities, and where possible, we try and keep physical separations between the physical cabs itself, as well as the A and the B power feed. So we do put an awful lot of work in, and I'm hoping with this new solution, with the separation, we maintain a healthy resilience and separation between the two networks. And as far as what it's going to look like, as I say, it's a leaf and spine. This is just a quick view of where the D2s, 3s and 5s fit in. You see there in the green boxes are the core. They're the spines. They connect into the different sites. Off of there, you'll have different leaf edges. So D2s and D3s. You can put a D5 on the leaf as well, depending on the member connectivity, what speed is needed. It's modular, it's scalable. On this one, you can see, for example, we've got the root collector and the quarantine device plugged onto those particular end devices. And this type of modular leaf spine architect is what will be repeated across all of the sites. This one happens to be TCH, which is the old Harbour Exchange, which is the Equinix site over in Docklands, as an example. So the architecture will be very similar to what you have today on the Edge Core IP Infusion. It will have a very, very similar architecture. I'm going to now just, how the change is going to happen. As I say, we've gone through the approval process and we've had sign off for the Nokia investment. What that will look like, we're in Q2 now. We've reached sign-off. As I say, this went through management review. In fact, we even did a presentation to the board to go through and update the board on where we are and the direction we were going in. We've agreed the build of material with Nokia. The kit is, I'm told, is on its way to us. Hopefully that it will arrive in July. Planning is the way, whilst we did a proof of concept and we went over to the Antwerp facility to work with Nokia on that. We're lab testing at the moment, doing extensive lab testing. We've got some tight KPIs on the quality of lab testing that we put out. That lab work is going through May and June. If everything, which should, it's just repeating what we've done in the POC in Antwerp and in our own lab, but that should go through with no problems. The kit comes in July. We finish our lab testing at the end of June, and then we'll start to do the installation and parallel build. It will be a parallel build. You will see maintenances go up for the installation of the kit. There'll be an NNI established between the old and the new network. There'll be a soak period where we have the two networks running in parallel. And then I expect, all being well, August, September, the soak period, we'll start doing member migrations in September, and that will run through into Q4, where we can complete and then decommission the old London 2 legacy equipment. So you'll start to see some updates as we get through Q3 on that. And it should be complete by the end of the year. So when we come back and we do a presentation at the second event for LINX meetings at the end of the year, we'll see if we can get Mark to give an update on the success, any gotchas that we found along the way. But yeah, so I'm just going to pause there because that's the London 2 update, and just see if there's any questions on that before I go on to the root server section of the update. Any feedback? Any questions? Okay. So root servers. We are at the moment, as I say, testing various different flavors of Bird and OpenBGPD. Bird is being tested at the moment on the root collectors, the latest version 2.16. If that all tests out well and goes out onto the root collectors, we will then do a planned rollout upgrade on the root servers from the current bird version to be all running 2.16. The reason for upgrade is purely just to sort of get rid of some bug fixes and general health improvements that the 2.16 release brings to us. The OpenBGP work, we're testing 8.8.1 in our lab, or we've tested 8.8.1 in the lab. We've been now for a while testing versions of OpenBGPD that is capable of scaling to support the size of the London 1 network. But we've had some bugs along the way with various different things, not to do with the scaling, but to do with some of the integration and functionality with the wider automation side of things. But this version 8.8.1 has gone through the lab and has been qualified and has been approved for deployment into London 1. So the plan is in June we will roll out the new version to RS2 in Cardiff, which is our WOWS IX, and so it's the smallest IX that we run. It gives us a bit of a a canary type scenario. We'll roll it out there. We'll do some observations, make sure it all bakes in. What we've done in the lab in production. Cardiff IX the WOWS IX has bird running on it as well. So if there was a failure, obviously everybody could still continue to peer through the other RS1. All being well, once we prove out the production version of 8.8.1, we will then deploy on RS3 in London 1, which will be towards the end of June as we go through that. Providing that runs stable, we will then upgrade all of the OpenBGPD root servers, as we will with the bird, but we'll make sure that we don't cross paths with those upgrade plans, so that we keep a healthy separation between the OpenBGP upgrades and the bird upgrades. And then the only other thing to mention is on BGPD, we've got the looking glass, so there is some work to upgrade to the latest version of the looking glass, which fixes some problems that Mo has found with the state server on the older version. But yeah, so hopefully, again, by the end of June, as we go into Q3, we should be fully resilient across both London 1, London 2, running both bird and OpenBGPD. It's been a personal ever since we sort of invested in the root server support foundation, and we've been working with the likes of Yob and the team at the foundation to build OpenBGPD into a scalable, feasible alternative to bird. It's been an ambition to have that running on London 1, and so I'll be very pleased to see that happen at the end of June. Add that diversity to the LINX network. Any questions on the root servers before I go on to the operational update? Any concerns or thoughts on that? As I say, if you've got a personal interest in root servers, as I say, Mo is at the moment at the EuroX IX event, but he will be back for the next update, and say we'll make a bit of I'm sure once we go live on this, we'll make a bit of a post on social media as well, because that will be the first IX to be running the two at this scale. So operationally, just a quick update on the incidents that we've seen since the last event. So listed here is the different IXs that we run around the world with the number of counts. So I'm not going to go through all of the different detailed ones. The key thing there, I think, WOWS was a dark fiber break between the two sites. The Nairobi incident was a dark fiber break between two of the POPs. The transmission POP was a dark fiber break, and often these are certainly WOWS and the transmission POP. We're a little bit restricted on the resiliency that we can plan into those. So there's a couple of incidents there which we're sort of in the hands of the fiber providers, but we obviously maintain healthy review with all of them to try and improve that situation. The ones I'll talk about is the London 1 incidents, and there's a link there. You can click onto the LINX portal. You can find it through LINX community. All of this detail is available online. So from a London 1 point of view, this the first issue that we saw was back in, actually it was a repeat of two issues. First we saw on the 7th of January, the second one was on the 22nd of January, and this was an FPC, a Juniper card that we had a restart on the 7th of January, and then another issue where a checksum error caused a partial failure on the 22nd of January. In both cases, JTAC was engaged, the Juniper TAC was engaged, and in both cases the bug was found and fixed in the Junos upgrades that are coming out. So we're running through a Junos upgrade at the moment, and I've got some detail on that in the maintenance section. The other one to mention was on the 2nd of April, more recently, where we had a reachability issue. This was at the Harbour Exchange device. It just stopped propagating some of the reachability, so we had to manually clear the proxy ARP and the proxy ND tables for it to start. That is under observation, and I'm sure a ticket has been raised with the TAC to make sure we track that through to not get any repeats. On maintenances and what you will expect to see over the coming months, the London 1, as I say, the Junos has been geared for the MX hardware is due to be upgraded, which fixes a few of those bugs. It also adds the functionality for the LC9600. So these are the high capacity Juniper cards to be deployed at all of the MXs that we run on the network. That will be, you'll see maintenances go through for systematic upgrades of all of the MX 10Ks, and they should be completed by the end of June. Elsewhere, Accra, we are at the moment, so this is the Ghana build, so we are at the moment in the final stages of shipping equipment. So we've got various different companies supplying equipment out there, which is winging its way through all of the customs and imports. So that's full steam ahead, and I'll have a detailed update on that project when we come to the next LINX meeting. Demand, we're working with the partner over there, Centre 3, and we're at the final stages. We're doing all the prep work with them, making sure that we've got the space, the power, and the kit. And then likewise, we've got work that's going on in Riyadh and Jeddah. There's a demand for 400 gig services now out in those POPs, and so we're working with them on the specification to upgrade both Riyadh and Jeddah. Jeddah's a little bit more tricky because it's older technology. It's the same edge core kit that we're going to be removing from London 2 that I just went through earlier in the presentation. So we'll be doing the same in Jeddah. So when we come to do the 400 gig upgrade in Jeddah, we'll probably refresh the kit out there and do a similar leaf spine 7220 upgrade for the Jeddah site and add a leaf node for 400 gig capability at the same time. We also have various upgrades going on across Smart Optics. So this is Smart Optics is the kit that runs all of our transmission networks. So we are doing all lands. I think we've completed Nairobi and Mombasa already, but we've got something in the region of 50 devices around the world, including 30 sitting across London 1, London 2, that you'll see various maintenances and upgrades come through for that. Open BGP, as I mentioned, you're going to see upgrades to the looking glass. You're going to see maintenance for WALs, which will enable us to run the latest version that, if all goes well, you'll see very quickly soon after an upgrade for London 1, and that will mean RS3 will then be resilient, a different operating system from the RS1. And then finally on London 1, let's say we've got Junos that will be running throughout June. We have the SR LINX that's running on the boxes I mentioned, Nova and Nairobi and Mombasa. We also have to upgrade them. And then as I mentioned earlier on, you're going to see a number of maintenances come through on London 2, first for the NNI and then for the migration as we run through Q3 and Q4. So quite a lot of work to come up. As always, if you want to find out any more information, you can go to the portal, you can go to LINX Community, and we've got loads of information on there. And if you want to ask a question, you can also raise a question through LINX Community as well. And one of the team, whether it's the root servers for Mo or whether it's the London 2 design with Mark, we'll get back to you and give you an update. Okay, that's it from me. So I'll just quickly pause for any questions, anything that I presented on. Okay, well, hopefully no questions means it's good news.